Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here with a bonus reading for the full moon lunar eclipse that is happening on November 19th. Now, this is a partial lunar eclipse. It is a full moon in Taurus, and it is called the full moon, of course, is called the beaver moon, although some have called it the blood beaver moon, some call it a blood moon. The Farmer's Almanac actually calls it a beaver moon. So we're just gonna check in and see kind of what the energies are coming through for you for this full moon and the lunar eclipse. There we have it. We're just gonna do 2 cards each here. Now, just a little bit of information here as far as kind of lunar eclipses go. So this is the second and last lunar eclipse, or eclipse actually, of 2021. And with lunar eclipses, there's kind of a knowing potentially, or kind of a illumination, if that makes sense, right? The moon is really kind of casting a shadow, or the earth actually is casting a shadow on the moon, and it actually kind of illuminates things so that we can shift perspectives, be able to see situations and people in a different light. Now, that's not always wonderful and, rainbows and sunshine as it's happening, but it does allow us to be a little bit more enlightened as far as kind of what's going on around us and seeing the people that are around us. Ooh. All right, one more card here. Now, this is an opportunity, a beautiful opportunity to reveal and transform our current emotional state here, Aquarius. So there are blessings coming in with this, although it does really bring up a lot of profound psychological kind of stuff. It does have some psychological effects, profound psychological effects on us as a whole, really. So this full moon and lunar eclipse energy will really affect those with the placement in Taurus and Sagittarius, but they also affect all of us. So let's see what's coming in for you. Yep. During this time, Aquarius. So let's go over this. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. So Aquarius, there definitely is a potential for a fiery climax to be coming in here. This is the time this shift is coming, a shift in perspective. It's very critical. This is where we have that opportunity to kind of see in a different way, in a different light, the current emotional state that we're in. There's opportunity for transformation. There's opportunity for really seeing things, seeing people in a different light, and that can bring about a fiery climax. Emotions will be heightened during this time, and we know that anyway, Aquarius. In general, a full moon has been thought or said to bring out the behaviors of people, right? If you've ever talked to somebody who works in potentially an emergency room, they will say that the full moon does bring out a lot of stuff, and that tends to be their busier times during full moons. And then you just add a lunar eclipse or a partial lunar eclipse to that, and all heck breaks loose. So there's a potential for something really fiery to happen, for emotions to be heightened, for there to be, a lot of kind of fiery energy going on here during this time, Aquarius. And so just be ready for it. Buckle up, buckle in, and be ready for this, potential emotional roller coaster. Now, For me, it tends to be that I notice the energy and those around me's energy, if that makes sense. About 3 days before and about 3 days after a full moon, but it's heightened even more with this lunar eclipse that's coming in Aquarius. So there is going to be some potential fireworks going on, and it does appear, just for the placements, that it is going to be emotional, right? So there might be just kind of almost hysterics going on during this time around you, Aquarius. Again, buckle up, buckle in, because this could be a potentially heightened time for transformation, for seeing situations and people in a whole new light, and for really, really kind of having that shift in perspective and that shift in energy during this time that could, really be seen as something that is detrimental, although it really can change the way that we see things and put things in a different light, in a different perspective that actually moves us forward as we go. What's coming through here is seeing true colors in situations and in the people around us that, really might change the way we look at things and the way that we look at people moving forward, Aquarius. So also your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So for some of you, you have been working hard. Now look at this card. It is emulating kind of an eclipse itself, right? You see that little bit of a shadow there, and then you see that darkness kind of around it. So there's that little bit of illumination, but then there's that shadow kind of over the top of that, Aquarius. This is really, really kind of emulating what is potentially going to be going on during this time, as far as that shadowing, right? The earth shadows or puts a shadow over the moon. So what is coming through here is that this is really going to have an effect, a profound effect on you moving forward. And within that, right, those of you that have been doing some work, potentially even shadow work, are going to be seeing a shift in perspective throughout this time. Things are going to begin to be seen differently by you, Aquarius, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, you also have share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So it is time to really step into your own expressive, beautiful self and really actually let your true colors show as well, Aquarius. If you have really been working to not offend people or not make people upset, or to really keep a bottle on yourself or a cap on your bottle on yourself, that doesn't make sense. Hopefully you get what I'm putting out here. You get what I'm saying here. It is time to really, really step into yourself. And this full moon and this eclipse is going to bring it all to a head, Aquarius, whether you want it to or not. Just saying, whether you want it to or not. So all of those things that you have been working hard to hide, or those emotions that you have been bottling up within you, potentially have the effect to come out almost maybe in an outburst during this time. So again, Aquarius, buckle up and be ready for that and for what may come afterwards. It is a time to step into who you are, to use your voice, to express yourself without the fear of persecution, because we get to be who we truly are, our true authentic self. And that is what is potentially coming to a head, our true self being brought out, being exposed, being brought into the light during this time, Aquarius, and letting the emotions go, letting them run, letting that kind of flow out, even when it doesn't feel safe. And even in those moments when this is what is coming through so strongly, even in those moments when we don't actually mean to, it just happens. All right, like potentially it is really speaking your mind, or having that last straw kind of moment where You can't help yourself but to finally express, finally use your voice, Aquarius. That is what is coming through during this time frame, during this full moon, and during this eclipse, is that it is all coming to the surface. It is all going to be brought out of the shadows into the light. And so be ready for it, Aquarius. Be ready. Now, that also could be somebody else coming through with their voice and with their form of expression. And so that can also get emotions really, really high during this time. And then you also have warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? So this is really, really tuning into fiery climax, your hard work, sharing your voice, warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Really, really focusing on stepping into who it is that you truly and authentically are, expressing that, voicing that, which may not even happen on purpose during this time, Aquarius. So be ready for it. Now, this, obviously my readings are non-gender specific, yet this is warrior woman. It could be warrior man. Take it how it resonates for you. It's non-gender specific, but this is definitely a time that, as I said, whether you are wanting it to or not, that all of it is going to come out and be taken out of the shadows and brought into the light. So be prepared for that, Aquarius. You are strong, and your authentic self does get to shine through. Sometimes the universe pushes that or forces that if you are not taking the action, and that time is potentially now with this full moon energy, with this lunar eclipse energy, with the emotions, the transformation that is going on. This is really going to reveal opportunities, and those opportunities might not be planned opportunities by you or by the people in your life for the true colors to shine through. Now, true colors shining through doesn't always mean something negative. Generally, that use of language, the true, showing your true colors, is used in a negative way. That doesn't really mean, though, that showing your true colors is always negative. It really is in the perception, and that perception is liable to be shifted during this time, Aquarius. It's liable that there will be a profound change or a profound shift in your perspective during this time, where we may not always like what we see, and yet, or what we hear, whether that is coming out of our own mouth or somebody else's mouth, but that can be critical in our growth, in our evolution, and in us moving forward. So this is a beautiful energy, even though it can feel sometimes for some of us pretty tough to swallow. All right, Aquarius. And then we also have horse, which is freedom. Holy crap. Look at how all of this is bringing you to this last card, which is freedom. Stepping into who you are, sharing yourself, this fiery climax that is right here upon you, the sharing your voice, the expression, all of that is bringing you to this conclusion here of freedom. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. Yes, have you stepped into, or have you answered your calling here with this warrior woman card? You have unlimited resources of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. The horse freedom, right? Kind of brings up the Mustangs, the horse Mustangs, the wild Mustangs horses is what's bringing, this card is bringing to mind here. You get to go through this in whatever capacity, whether you perceive it as positive or negative. Aquarius, that perception is yours alone. We do not have the same thing happen, one person versus another, and perceive it always the same way. Sometimes it can be perceived as positive, sometimes it can be perceived as negative. That is within our own perception, our own mindset, how we choose to see things, Aquarius. But you are being reminded here that during this full moon time, that during this partial or lunar eclipse energy, that there is a lot that is coming through. A lot of it is on emotional basis, some psychological, right? There's a lot that is coming through. It is bringing you freedom with it. So if that perception is of negative of the true colors, whether they're yours coming out or whether they're somebody else's. If that is negative, it's time to shift that perspective to a profound new idea of the freedom that it does bring with being your authentic self, with sharing your voice, with being, there in the capacity that you are meant to be, Aquarius, your soul's calling, right? Your deepest calling, your deepest desires, who it is that you truly are, your expression. It does bring with it freedom, that your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. Yes, you have that doubly here. You have unlimited resources of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams, a fiery climax. Your hard work is paying off, Aquarius. This beautiful, beautiful energy of this full moon in Taurus and this partial lunar eclipse, right? This beaver moon is actually bringing you through a storm in sorts and bringing you to freedom at the same time, Aquarius. Buckle up, buckle in, because it could be a bumpy road of emotion, of transformation, of really having those shifts in perspective, of seeing people and situations in a whole new or different light that really is critical and profound in your progression, in your growth. It's beautiful. Also, I didn't say at the very beginning that my readings are for entertainment. They are general in nature and may or may not resonate for everybody. So please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so, so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. All right, a little backwards today, and that's okay. It may just be the energy of all the stuff, the moons, the eclipses, all that stuff that is coming in here that really got me a little bit off my game right there, Aquarius. But I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, do hit that like button and share this video. Again, it does help others be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new readings, which is every single week. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. Again, buckle up, buckle in, Aquarius, and I will see you on the other side. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.